Okay, good morning, people. Yeah, technically I guess it's still morning. It's 11:09 a.m. but feels like noon, people. It's so hot. So hot. So niya takaron sa Lapu-Lapu, one of the most heavily congested in terms of traffic and population. Heavily congested areas in Cebu, the province of Cebu. And then I guess it's because of its close proximity sa megacities, sa Cebu City, and it's relatively cheap cost of living. I mean, apartments in Lapu-Lapu are very cheap relative to those in the Cebu areas. But distance-wise, geographically, it's nearer, it's closer to Cebu than the other places, like the other cheap places like Leon Lashon and Naga, Minglaniglia. So those are also cheap places, but layo sila. And I'm not really sure kung say mas traffic. I'm betting it's still Leon Lashon. I mean, that place is just hell sa rush hour. Way patawad bisan ga motor ka. It's just hell. Di ka kalahos, di ka kalusot. Ah, man. Lapu-Lapu is a bit better, I would say. Nagaming India is a bit okay. Tungod man gud silang road widening. But still heavy traffic. I wouldn't want to be caught in heavy traffic dito ng mga location. Okay, so gikan ta sa Senyang's. We just had our lunch. The best lumpia in Cebu, Senyang's Lumpia. Grabe, lamig yun kayo. Highly recommended. Gikan ta dito, and now we're on our way to the wife's workplace in JP Morgan to hatod the lumpia. To hatod the lumpia. And hopefully, this is quite unique, or quite, I would say, surprising. Hopefully we'll meet some LTO enforcers along the way, because I want to see what they're gonna do when they check my bike and me. But I am 100% compliant, LTO compliant, muffler, MDL, etc. So let's see what happens. Earlier I stopped, I saw a police checkpoint, Cebu City Transportation, CCTO, Traffic Agent Office, and then they just let me pass, man. No, they didn't stop me, they just saw me, they waved me off. Probably because higlom kayo ko muffler, they could not hear it even. Okay, so let's see if na LTO tamalabyan. I'm gonna go to reclamation and see if we can get lucky. Later jud no, wala kulba basta compliant ka. Sa manang nasunahan, is that ano na siya, traffic enforcer. I need to find an LTO person or checkpoint, because this is really getting out of hand. This whole situation, it began with mufflers. I mean, I heard that even those who replaced their pipe, their elbows, the pipe or the elbow is the metal tube connecting the muffler to the other parts of the exhaust system, such as the catalytic and to the exhaust manifold. Ang pipe will eventually rust and rot with the passage of time. Okay, and eventually you will have to replace it. And what is the best way to replace it? Diba? By getting a tube of the same size, stainless, and just attach it to your OEM muffler, to your OEM catalytic. Diba? I mean, what is wrong with that? But I heard that the LTO personnel, in all their wisdom, have begun flagging those as quote-unquote modified. Yeah, I mean, technically it's modified because nalata na good, so you have no choice but to replace it, diba? So somebody lang ganan, when your pipe goes bad and the tube goes bad, you replace the entire thing. Hinana mo kadato, hinata kadato Pilipinas, diba? Is that what they want? That's just stupid. And whoever came up with such ideas is stupid, sorry to say. So that's a key word for today, I think. Stupid. In the LTO na to, so a muffler, diba? Like I discussed in my previous video, a muffler is supposed to conform to the regulations. I believe it was regulation 92 of the UN ECE, which the Philippines is trying to adopt, even though we're not Euro 5. But sige na lang, diba? Given, granted. Okay, what does it really do? What does it check? That regulation 92, safety and compliance now to the environment, and etc. And what does it check? And what does it check? It checks the parts of the exhaust system, specifically the muffler, the elbow, silencer, etc. It tests it for two things. Number one, noise. Number two, emissions compliance. Because those are really the two major things Euro 5. Okay, so that certificate, that approval certificate that LTO is looking for in aftermarket mufflers, checks for, or basically states that this muffler has been tested for this specific make and model of motorcycle. So the motorcycle has to, this muffler has to have a silencer for this motorbike, and the readings are so and so and so. It complies with the Euro 5. Okay, that's what it says. But guess what? Guess what also generates those kinds of findings? I'll give you a guess. I'll give you a hint. It's local. Diba? And none other than our very own Motor Vehicle Inspection System, MVIS, performed by MVICs, Motor Vehicle Inspection Centers. They perform those tests and they generate the MVIS report. Okay, so it's may nasa report. It details all the parts of the motorcycle, the brakes, headlights, and muffler. Yeah, checks the bike, checks the muffler, checks emissions to make sure that they are compliant with our existing regulations. And last I checked, it was Euro 4. Okay, so if you take your bike to the MVIS or MVIC and they will conduct an MVIS check, the report will then state that you either pass or fail. And if you pass, that means they have thoroughly checked all the parts of your bike, including emissions and muffler noise. Diba? And if you pass, then that's it, you've passed the requirements. So what in the world is the EC/ECE type approval for, if our MVIS or MVICs perform the same stupid task or tests? Diba? It really is stupid. it makes us look stupid having to require two such things. Really, there's no other word for it. Stupid. Then let me repeat it. Stupid. Because you can't repeat it. I don't know. I don't really know, diba? Technically, yes, they can ask for it because if you purchase aftermarket mufflers from those big brands, those brands will provide the paperwork. Okay, the paperwork. But that's an extra piece of paperwork that we have to be carrying with us or concerned about. Okay, and the paperwork displays the same thing that supposedly the MVIS report will show. So nga nung naapaman ang kana nga report, diba? That's truck, diba? Turning radius sa truck, delikado. Okay. What? Ibang gaan ko na yun sa ligid. May gani, it's just a tire. But anyway, no harm done. Just felt a bump in my tire. And going back to the topic of mufflers, basically, or you know, in the sense of the law, an ECE type approval and the MVIS report display or show the results of the sound and emissions. So nga nung kailangan man ang duha, and that's where the problem really stems from, because kanang EC/ECE report can only be obtained from big brands, diba? From quote-unquote original mufflers that are made outside, overseas. So what about our local muffler manufacturers, diba? Does that mean that they are not allowed to be sold in the Philippines? The DTI allows it, diba? And more importantly, so what if it's a locally produced muffler and doesn't have that ECE type approval, diba? And somebody purpose a muffler. If you think about it, once I purpose a muffler, we're talking about mufflers. It's a purpose. From the word muffle, it relates to sound, but it muffles the sound that the engine makes to make sure that it doesn't produce a loud noise, which is what the law prohibits. Law prohibits mufflers that generate very loud sound. So that's the purpose of the muffler. Now, who cares where you bought the muffler from? Diba? Or sa nga brand na. As long as it performs its job of muffling the sound, which can be measured by a dB reader, diba? As long as the muffler does its job, then who cares if it's locally produced or made abroad, diba? If the LTO is concerned about fake products, which is not even mentioned, not even part of their job, or it's not even what they're looking for. If they're concerned about, fake pipes or mufflers, that should be raised to the appropriate department, trade and industry, diba? LTO's job is to ensure compliance, is to implement the law, to make sure that the regulations, the laws are complied with. So muffler is supposed to muffle sound. The muffler is not in charge of emissions, diba? It is via catalytic converter. So if original or non-original, class A, locally produced, whatever, ang imong muffler, does that really affect your emissions? Diba? The answer is no, because it's the job of the catalytic. And so there you have it. You have a formula now, diba, of what will make a motorcycle exhaust system in general compliant. Sana namang ma-LTO eh. If you have a muffler that muffles sound to the required limits or below the required limits, or the minimum maximum limits, if you have that muffler, and if you have a catalytic converter that controls the emissions, then the vehicle should pass. The exhaust system should pass and should not be impounded. I mean, it's really mind-blowing that such a simple thing is made complicated by our government agency, by our land transportation office. It's such a very simple yet important role, because Filipinos, I mean, whether we like it or not, we're not really rich. Most Filipinos are poor. They can only afford motorcycles. And no, okay, kamu mga elitista diha, before you even harp about drawing the poor card, it's not drawing the poor card, it's the truth. It's stating the obvious. It's stating facts. Most Filipinos will never be able to afford such a muffler. Are you saying na dira na lang, sagda na lang, kuan na lang si dira, stay put na lang and just live with it, deal with it? Whereas you reach people who can afford original mufflers because you're dato, kamore pwede. Is that what you're saying? Diba? I mean, yeah, I can afford it technically, but is it practical? So that's what really grinds my gears with this whole LTO situation. You know, as a Christian, we're supposed to obey the earthly government that God has placed in this earth. Obey it as if it were because the Lord ordered it, commanded us so. Diba? So I will obey, but that doesn't mean that I will not complain. Because it's just stupid, you know, it's stupid. Okay, this is not a throttle therapy, diba? It's a lot of steam and all that. But I hope that, I really hope and pray sincerely from the bottom of my heart now the LTO will wake up to its senses, because this stupidity can't go on. It's just sakit, labad siya sa ulo, diba? There's a lot of other things that the LTO could focus its efforts on, it allocates its resources to. Diba? Such as what? Such as improving how they monitor the impactful road violators. Meron na mga illegal parking, not following traffic signs, etc. Those are more impactful things. Kaysa ka ng muffler nga within reasonable limits. Na-emphasize reasonable limits. Okay, kana mga bura-bura, kalkal. Unfortunately, those are indeed modified mufflers, so can't do anything about them, people. You gotta go back to stock. Okay, so wala ko kitag LTO anywhere. Huli na lang ko eh. Nandot na mag-interview, but it's not my time. Huli na lang ko. But you know what? After driving the Ninja 4RR, ZX-4RR for a few days now, naka-stock muffler, you know, it's not so bad. It's not really so bad. Let's see if not. I mean, you could get used to the noise, the low noise level. It's just really, it takes some bit of adjustment, because you know, whether you like it or not, you're used to the bike making noise for the purposes of warning other motorists. Okay, I'm not really warning. Okay, so again, let's use a different word. Letting the other motorists know of your presence. Okay, diba? So that padulong pa lang ka, kabaw na sila, mga balhabal, commute na slow moving vehicles, pedestrians, stray dogs, stray animals, they would be made aware of your presence, and thereby cause them to steer clear of you. And of course we all know what that means, because you're traveling fast. Okay, so as much as it is as we hate to admit it, kana mga loud pipe save lives, it's true, because we travel, or we like to travel at high speeds. We like to travel at high speeds. There's no going around that. That's why. So anyway, kita ko, police man, hindi man nilti ko. So man naman siya diha. What's it doing? Okay, diba? You know, hypocrisy aside, that's really why loud pipe save lives, or saves lives, because when a bike is traveling slow, diba, the loud pipe argument doesn't hold as much water na, since if you're riding slow, then you would have enough time, reaction time, to evade potential hazards, okay, to use your peep for hazards, and etc. That's basically it. we just have to be honest with ourselves, ladies and gents. Somebody, what's this? What are you checking? Okay, so right now I am on a stock muffler, and I guess it's pretty enjoyable if everybody else is silent. You know, it makes the ride a little bit more bearable under the sun, you know. Like I said before, kanang loud pipes, especially sustained exposure to loud noise, they can cause fatigue sa hearing. And now hilom akong pipe, I mean, pretty nice. I could get used to this. And if I could afford to buy an original pipe, an IC project, the noise would be very similar. Noise level would be very similar to stock, because pasado mo na Euro 5, di mo na pwedeng saba sa Euro 5. On one of the readings I saw on a legitimate approval certificate, one of the readings says that the noise level at 7,500 RPM, okay, taas na, 7,500 RPM, the noise level was 95 dB. Okay, so you can imagine how low the requirement must be if i-enforce tong 2,500 RPM. Kaya tanawa, 75 RPM, ang reading niya is only 95 decibels. Taas na ng 75 RPM eh. Some motorcycles dulo na sa ilang kuan limit. So kanang Euro 5 nga noise is really silent, relatively speaking. And that brings us to another point, diba? If the LTO and if people in general feel na kanang 99 dB at 2,500 is low or still very loud, kaya kanang 2.5, I mean, let's be honest, who here rides their bikes, motorcycles at 2,500 RPM? Nobody. Nobody. Murag idol raman na, murag maguwang sa idol, diba? So for example, if you're riding your bike like me, karon no, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, for me kanang slow traffic ano siya sa 3,000, yan eh, 3,000. And paano ganin ng 4RR high revving, so kanang 3,000 ako could even be higher for other people or lower. So if they want to make it lower to make up for those high revving bikes na musaba na, then make it lower. 90? Yeah, 90 dB at 2,500 RPM at a distance of 1 meter ba na? Angle 45 degrees parallel to the ground. Ede. I for one would love that, no? More peaceful streets, because na mga jud abusado. Heck, even my friends are abusado. And I'm not gonna name names, but you know who you guys are, okay? Wala may tao sa checkpoint, naniod to pa. Bad idea day mag LTO hunting karong to kay ting paniod to. Oh well, sige na. I think that's about it. I don't think I'll find any more checkpoints at this high noon, so maybe I'll try again later or next time, okay? But for now, everybody, thank you for watching. As usual, I hope that you have learned a lot, and as always, please ride responsibly. Bye bye.